There we go. Yay! We are live. Happy Wednesday, everybody. It doesn't look like too many are on, so I'll just kind of start introducing myself, wait a little bit, see if anyone else joins us. But if you are joining, let me know you're here. Sometimes it's hard to tell if anyone is joining or on unless you tell me that you're here. So wave, say hey, let me know you're here. So tonight I really want to talk about pre-fueling before a race or a long run, fueling during your race or long run, and also post-fueling. So what should you be eating after your long run, right? Or a long endurance race, right? So, hey Ryan, thanks for joining. So that is what tonight's talk will be all about. I did talk a little bit about this Friday recently on my Q&A, but thought I would do another video in case anybody missed it about this topic. So fueling for your runs is very important. So why I really want to stress, why is it important? But first, sorry, before I get into it, who is this video for, right? So this video is for anybody, if you're watching, if you're tuning in, if you're like, what is she talking about? This is for anyone that if you are an endurance runner and also plant-based. So I'm going to also be talking about how are you fueling your body not only as a runner and for long runs and races, but also as somebody that eats mostly plant-based, right? So what are the best foods you can eat? What are the nutrients that your body needs? Okay, so if you are, in that category of that person, then this video is for you. Okay, so what I really want to start off with, right, is how important it is for fueling. So many of you, if you have ran before, you know that you may have experienced this, right? You may have experienced a time where you ran a long run or a race and it didn't quite work out so well. And maybe you were like, well, maybe I'm not quite in shape for this, or maybe I just had a bad run, right? But I bet if you look back and see how your nutrition was, how your hydration was before that run, then I can bet you it could have very well have been related to that, to nutrition. Not always your fitness level, your shape, how shape you are. It could possibly be your nutrition, right? So, fueling, especially before a race, is just so important. I know for me, where I struggle more is fueling for my long run. I'm usually really good at making sure I fuel right for a race, like a half marathon or a marathon, but not always on those long runs. And those are when, my training runs sometimes don't go as well as I thought. And most of the time it's because I did not hydrate enough or did not fuel enough. So what I want to talk about first is pre-fueling, and we'll get into, during and after too. But first, pre-fueling. What is the best nutrients, or what are the best foods you can have? So before a race, what's really important is carbohydrates or a long run, right? So carbohydrates are what give your body energy, right? Carbohydrates give your body energy. And those are your body uses those energy stores in the form of glycogen in your muscles, right? So that is what your muscles use. And your body is more efficient at using carbohydrates than it is fats, okay? So you want to make sure that you eat enough carbohydrates, right? You want to make sure you have enough energy for your muscles. And of course, what I want to talk about is during is when that's appropriate, when you may need a little to add or to eat more carbohydrates because you're depleting during that run, right? If you're going on a longer run, you're going to deplete those carbohydrates that you ate before. So it might not last you the whole time, right? Depending on how long your run is. So it's really important to make sure you get those carbohydrates, and also mix in some protein and fats is not a bad idea. So what are some foods that you could have? So I want to give you guys some foods. Hey, thanks for joining. If you're here, let me know you're here. So what foods can you eat, okay, that are, carbohydrates, fats, a little bit of protein, You could do oatmeal. Oatmeal's great. It's definitely going to fill you up. The only thing is, I would be conscious about how your body does with eating the oatmeal, before you run because of GI issues, right? And you want to make sure that make sure to give yourself enough time, but you only know your body the best, right? So oatmeal's one. Hey, Kaylee, thanks for joining. So, oatmeal's fine. A bagel would be fine. I like to put, almond butter, avocado on my bagel. So anything that's going to be, right, a carbohydrates source and maybe a little bit of protein and fat. So almond butter is great, nut butters, any nut butter is great, right? Because it's a little bit of protein, or an avocado, right? It's going to give you a little bit of fat. So that's a good way to pre-fuel for a long run or race. And you want to give yourself a little bit of time. So if you have a longer run on the weekend, a longer training run, it may be a good idea to get up early in the morning, an hour at least before, and have something to eat. I know for myself, so long as I give myself an hour, I'm usually pretty good. My body usually digests things pretty fast, and I can make sure that I go, before I go on my long runs. But you know your body best, right? You know your body the best. You know what works for you. And sometimes it's just experimenting, knowing, okay, I need carbohydrates, but what does my body do well on, right? What does, what stays with me enough to get me through a run too, right? If you're, not taking anything with you, kind of thing. So what about during your run, right? What should you be having during your run? Now, during your run, you really want to have you're gonna have to have you need more carbohydrates, right? Quick energy. So these are really simple carbs, sugar. And some of you might be thinking, but isn't sugar bad for us? Well, there's that debate about how, right, sugar, that we eat too much sugar in our diet. But the thing is, quick, simple carbs, your white carbs, right, that's what's gonna fuel you, or that's what's going to give your body quick energy. So it's really popular as those gels, right? Those goos. And really all that is sugar. So really like candy, I know at races they've given out all sorts of like gummies and things like that because it's just quick energy, right? Or you could even take, a piece of bread with peanut butter, right? I mean, there's different things. If your body doesn't digest those goes well, you can certainly try something like that. Try something, that's food, that's easy to take with you, kind of thing. But you're gonna want to have something to take during that run if it's longer than, I would generally say, an hour. So in a half marathon, usually takes me about an hour, 45 minutes, right? Maybe around 2 hours on average is a half marathon. You may want 1 or 2 gels, right, during your race. Sometimes I haven't needed, but I have noticed the difference when I have taken a gel. And there are more natural gels. So, right, there are more natural plant-based versions out there, which is great. There's one that I just got that has chia seeds in it. It's vegan, so I'm super excited to try that. I haven't tried it yet, but will definitely let you guys know how I like that. And again, I know, sometimes with us, I think as plant-based runners, we may be people that don't really like sugar either. Just might not like it. So like I said, if you don't like those goos, if they are too sweet, maybe try something else, or maybe see how you feel, an hour and a half run. Maybe you will be okay to get through that depending on what you have before, but if you're really going on those longer runs, once you get into 15 miles and 20 miles, right, or more, you're going to want to make sure to refuel, or you may bonk and crash and hit the wall, right, is the term is called, because you don't have enough carbohydrates and you don't have enough energy to keep going. So especially important, right, to fuel during your run. But there are plant-based options out there, and certainly, things that I've heard that runners have used, ultra runners, they have gotten very, very creative at the different things that I've heard that they take with them that I would never think of. But really, I think, to me, it's trial and error and experimentation. right? Experimenting and seeing what works for you, because all of our bodies are different. You know, for one person it might work, but for somebody else it might not. And you might be like, wow, that really caused me a lot of GI distress and stomach ache, and I will never do that again on a run, right? So it's really what depends on you. And, you know, with those gels and goos and chews, you have to figure out, you know, what works for you, right? Some of them I know people have not worked well for. Just cause them a lot of GI stress, and they're like, nope, can't do that. But there's a lot of more options out there, which is really great, which is super exciting too. And post fueling. So what about post fueling? So sorry. So after a run, right? After a long run or after a race, like a half marathon, it's really important to make sure that you get nutrition back in, right? Because you depleted your energy stores, right? You sweat, right? So you're gonna want, I didn't talk too much about pre-fueling, but you're gonna want, or about hydration with pre-fueling, but that's really important to get electrolytes before, during, and also after, right? To replace those electrolytes, especially your sodium and potassium, right? You're gonna wanna replace. There are natural tablets now you can take that are plant-based, right? So there are options there for electrolytes, or you know, I know people that just do salt taps or salt, right? Just to get that sodium in, because you're sweating a lot, right? So you're gonna wanna do that. So hydration is really important post, and then also protein, right? Carbohydrates again, and protein is what you really wanna look for. You wanna try to eat a snack at least within that 30-minute to an hour window. So maybe something that has carbohydrates and protein that's real quick. What's really known to work is a 4-to-1 ratio. So 4 grams of carbohydrate to 1 gram of protein. And that is why chocolate milk is so popular, because it has the 4-to-1 ratio. That's why chocolate milk is so popular as a post-workout drink. But that doesn't mean we can't find plant-based sources that have that 4-to-1 ratio. So actually, I just wrote a blog on this. If you go to my blog, and I'll put the link to my blog under this video, but that I list out, you know, some examples of what could substitute on, you know, eating plant-based that has that 4-to-1 ratio that might be a good quick snack after a run. And then maybe within 2 hours, I would suggest to try to have a more substantial meal, right? So again, carbohydrates and protein, but it might be a little bit more. So my favorite, you guys probably know this, is a black bean burger with a bun. And I make sure that I eat that bun. I don't always eat the bun, but after a race, I definitely do, because I know I need those carbohydrates, right? So, you know, that's really post-fuel, really post, not really fueling, but post-recovery, right, after a run, which is also especially important. You know, I explained the importance of pre-fueling and importance of during, right, prevent from balking, but also post, you know, recovery and afterwards. It can help you recover. If you eat, you know, the sooner you eat, you know, maybe you struggle, like after you run, you're like, man, I just don't feel like eating, Kayla. Like, I'm just not hungry after I run. What do I do? And like I said, it's okay if you want to just have a quick snack, maybe a protein shake. Try to get that down, right? A cookie, well, plant-based cookie, might not be dairy-free, but anything that you can, right, eat, a banana, anything is better than nothing, certainly. And then the protein is really what's going to help you for your muscles to recover, right? That's going to help rebuild, right? It's going to help your muscles to recover, and you're going to recover faster if you eat protein in your diet. You're going to be able to recover better and not be as sore as you thought you would be. And certainly, you know, I'm just talking about nutrition, certainly too, you know, the other side of it, as the more fit you get, right, will certainly help too with recovery. But, you know, personally, I know that nutrition has a lot to do with it too. There's a lot to come into play. So anyways, that is went really fast through all of that. That is what I have for you guys tonight about refueling. What should you be having before your run to get you, through that run. But if it is longer than an hour, maybe you do want to fuel. Usually I think for me over 10 miles, I would say I would probably take something with me and make sure that I have something with me. Not always good with having hydration on me during my runs, but during the summer, certainly something that I definitely want to consider. But make sure you have something to give yourself more energy, right? Give yourself more carbohydrates to get through that longer run. As I said, especially if you're getting more into longer miles, which I know I will certainly be getting into. So if you are, running a fall marathon, you may be getting to this higher mileage at this point of the game if you are training for a fall marathon. And then again, post-recovery is also important, right, to help you recover faster. And that is going to involve carbohydrates and mostly carbohydrates and protein, right? So again, mostly carbohydrates is going to help, and also some protein. So I hope that was really helpful. If you guys like this video, if this was really helpful, if there's something that resonated with you, please let me know. Give me a thumbs up, give me feedback. What did you like about this video? And as always, let me know, any more ideas or information you guys want me to share or talk about around, plant-based eating for performance, then please let me know. I certainly would be willing to hop on, do a video, or get some more information to you. I also will be going live on Friday for my Q&A. So if you have any questions, of course, too, let me know, and I'll go live and I'll answer those questions. And then one more thing, of course, too, as always, I am taking on clients this month. Well, it's almost July, right? So I will be taking on more clients here. Even in July. So if you are interested, in working with me, we certainly can figure out, I can certainly help you with this, figure out what is, what's going to work for you for the best pre-fueling, right, before that longer run. What's going to work for you? We can figure out how many carbohydrates do you need to have. And I didn't really get into too much of that either, because it's very individualistic of how many carbohydrates you need for your run. So we certainly could get into that. I know that's a popular topic because, right, we may be concerned about eating too many carbohydrates. And when you are plant-based, most of your diet, the majority of your diet is going to be carbohydrates, right? Excuse me. Because even your, need a drink of water. I got a tickle in my throat. Even if, when you eat vegetables, right, even if you eat mostly vegetables, those have carbohydrates in them, right? Not the carbohydrates we think of, but they do have carbohydrates in them. So you still, right, most of your diet is going to be carbohydrates, but they are important for performance for running. So hope you guys again enjoyed the video. One more thing, if you guys haven't signed up for my recipe ebook, I am sending that out for free. So if you do want to receive that, all I ask in exchange to receive that ebook is your email. So you can go right to my website, sign up for that. I also have a monthly e-newsletter that I just started very recently, but I'll be sending out the next month's very soon for just giving some nutrition tips, fitness information, tips, what else I got on there, running tips, things like that, recipes. There's, information in there, about updates, things that I'm up to, things like that. So if you want to join that too, let me, or I just leave your email. Easiest way is just go right to my website, sign up. You'll see the sign up there, leave your name and email, and then you'll receive it in your inbox. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Thank you all for joining so much. I'm so grateful for all of you that support me and are big fans. But if you know of anybody that is looking for somebody that could use help with their nutrition for fueling for their runs, definitely point them in my direction and let them know that I'm here willing to work with them. Send them my website. They can check me out there, or follow me on social media is also a great place to see what I'm all about and the information and value that I can give. So anyways, I hope you guys again enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys soon.